Tokyo, it's the men's 100 meters world final.
男子 100m 決勝。
In lane 2, world rank number 3, representing South Africa.
南アフリカ記録保持者、南アフリカ共和国。
Akani Simbini. Lane 3, twice the African under-20 champion, representing Nigeria.
パーソナルベスト9秒88、ナイジェリア。
Kayinsola Ajayi. Lane 4, 6 times the world champion, the Olympic champion for the USA.
ブダペスト大会金メダル、アメリカ合衆国。
Noah Lyles. In 5, the Olympic Games silver medalist representing Jamaica.
ワールドリーダー、ワールドランキング1位、ジャマイカ。
Kishane Thompson. In 6, twice an Olympic Games silver medalist for the USA.
パーソナルベスト9秒79、ワールドランキング5位、アメリカ合衆国。
Kung Fu Kenny Benarek. In 7, the best of 981 set earlier this year for Jamaica.
ワールドランキング4位、ジャマイカ。
Oblique Seville. Lane 8, welcome the Olympic 200-meter champion representing Botswana.
ブダペスト大会銀メダル、ボツワナ。
Letsile Tobago. Lane 9, a lifetime best set here at 9:87, representing South Africa.
パーソナルベスト9秒8。
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Remember to subscribe, like, and share your ideas in the comment section below if you're new to this site. The match today demonstrates why Jamaica is still regarded as one of the most renowned and esteemed countries in the running world. The men's 100 and 400 meters are covered in this video. I'll be back soon with more breakdowns, so stay tuned and let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to leave a comment and like. The original broadcaster of this video deserves all the credit.
The tension just needs to go a little higher. We'll find out what the start team make of that. We'll hear from start referee Helen. Yeah, Bolt knows what he thinks he saw. We all know what we think we saw. But there's only one opinion that counts.
Line 8, false start.
And unfortunately, it is a red card. It's a disqualification for Letsile Tobago. We go against Simbini, Ajayi, Lyles, Thompson, Benarek, Seville, and Leon Layla. The start is crucial, nice and quiet.
One oblique. On your mark. 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, inte siinä on vähän silleen, että voi reaktioida, jos jäädä lisäksi. Ei ole ihan niin. Sitten katsoo, että se on keltainen. Käsittääkseni.
Set.
This time the way. Thompson
カのセミルが9秒77のパーソナルベストです。そして2着には同じくジャマイカトンプソン9秒82、3着アメリカ合衆国のライルズ9秒89のシーズンベストです。
There's the replay. Look at the pick-up from the two Jamaicans as they come upright. They're already 1 and 2. Lyle's playing catch-up as he so often has to get the bronze.
Well, let's have a look at the athletes from the first heat. Matt Hudson-Smith, by the way, the European champion and bronze medalist at the World Championships, goes in heat 4 for England. There's the lineup: Geldenhuys of Namibia, Timbachi of Vanuatu, Anthony Cox of Jamaica, Solomon of Australia, Steve Solomon, watch him, Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, Desroy Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines, and Shay Lara of Trinidad and Tobago on the outside. So with only 3 for non-automatic qualifier spots, that's make the first 3 or you're not going to make it through to the semis is really the message. There is Che Lara, 46.92 man this year. He'll be running blind. His personal best was last year, 46.4. In lane 7 for St Vincent and the Grenadines. He's actually the national 800 metres champion this year. Desroy Jordan, the 21-year-old, best of 47.76 this year. In 6, Kalinga Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, 3 times their champion and the reigning champion, set his personal best actually, but back on the 23rd of April. He hasn't raced since the middle of June. In 5, the very experienced Australian Steve Solomon, 8th in the Olympic Games in London 2012. Remember that, 10 years ago now. A semi-finalist in Tokyo last year, and he holds the Australian record for 400 indoors at 45.4. Good athlete. There's Anthony Cox of Jamaica. Had COVID in Eugene, but was able to compete in the heats of the 4x400 for his nation. Came 3rd in the Jamaican Championships earlier on this summer. There's Obedia Timbaki of Vanuatu. Went out in his heat for the World Championships, the 19-year-old, best of 52.85 this year, and that is his lifetime best. And then in 2 is Ivan Danny Geldenhuys of Namibia, 21 in a few days' time, the South African semi-finalist in the African Championships in Mauritius back in early June, but he hasn't raced either since early June, the 20-year-old Geldenhuys. 46.4 his best this year. Remember, the first 3 go through by right, so he'll be right on the cusp of it. Will even Danny Geldenhuys. Champion is Makwala. He's up Makwala of Botswana. Indeed, his teammate Babaloki Thebe took out the silver on the Gold Coast back in 2018. So the first heat of 7 then in the men's 400 metres. Geldenhuys in 2, Timbaki of Vanuatu in 3, Cox of Jamaica 4, Solomon of Australia in 5, the Sri Lankan Kumaraj in 6, Jordan of St Vincent and the Grenadines in 7, and Lara, Trinidad and Tobago in lane 8.
Set.
Well, qualifying from this should be a formality for an athlete of the calibre of Steve Solomon of Australia, but he'll want a solid run. He's in 5. They're right in the centre in the yellow with the greenish shorts, 4th from left at the moment, moving well down the back straight. And actually quickest away is Kumaraj of Sri Lanka, really quick through the first 200 in that blue strip. He's a 45.8 performer this year, but he leads at the moment by quite some margin. Solomon going okay right in the centre. Inside him, the Jamaican vest of Anthony Cox is moving well around the second bend as they come into the straight. Kumaraj has given 101% through the first 300. Now he's chased down by the big figure of Cox, the Jamaican, who looks very strong for the last 50. Solomon follows him through, and he's under real pressure here for third place, and I think he just loses out there to Golden Heath from Namibia, who gets third spot. It is the first three, remember, who go through by rights. And I think, despite giving everything for the first 380, it was nearly enough. Kumaraj of Sri Lanka might just have got run out of it. It was very tight at the line. No doubting the strong finish and fine form of Anthony Cox. Maybe a little bit frustrated after not being able to give his all in Eugene a couple of weeks back because of COVID. But he wins in 45.51. That is only a couple of clicks outside his lifetime best from earlier on this season. And Steve Solomon, 45.98, a solid second for Australia. And it was even Danny Geldenhuys of the Namibia who took third place, 46.51. Kumaraj will have to wait and see, but 46.53, I'm not sure it'll be quick enough. Desiree Jordan of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a personal best for him, significant leap forward, 47.29.
I was absolutely willing the Sri Lankan third from the left here as we look at it to get himself home in the top three. It was a really bold piece of running because he knew the likes of Cox of Jamaica and Solomon, who seems to have been around for a lifetime, made the Olympic final, must have been a teenager then back in 2012. The Sri Lanka knew that they would be coming and closing and that he'd start wading through treacle towards the back end of the race. Geldenhuys did really well to come through in lane two. Good running by Cox, just off the podium in the World Youth a few years ago. So unlucky to get COVID in Eugene and not be able to perform at his best. It's a good run by Solomon there, and Geldenhuys out-dipping Kumaraj. So the Sri Lankan will have to wait to see whether he can claim one of the three non-automatic spots. But remember, that's 3 non-automatic spots from 7 heats. Good running by Cox, third in the Jamaican national champs. Just to make it as any level of international in a Jamaican sprint event shows you the calibre of the man we've just been watching, just off the podium in the World Youth, and he'll be absolutely determined to remind everybody what he could have produced in Eugene had COVID not brought his aspirations at the Worlds to a premature end.
Well, there it is. You can see the fine form of Anthony Cox. Bottom of picture. Working hard with the arms there. And that is very nearly a lifetime best. And I think there's considerably more to come from the 21-year-old. Solomon of Australia in the dark glasses. Moving well, and you can see the effort from even Danny Geldenhuys. Here he is with about 40 to go. He's way back in fourth, but he keeps battling away. Kumaraj by far the smallest of the 4-inch shot, just tying up the stride length going, the knees not coming up over the final meters, and he just gets out dipped by the Namibian, giving himself an early 21st birthday present in effect. There it is. Anthony Cox wins for Jamaica, 45.51. A lovely big capital Q beside his name. Steve Solomon likewise for Australia in second place, and Geldenhuys of Namibia taking that precious third spot by 2 100ths of a second of Kalinga Hua Kumaraj of Sri.
Hi there. We sincerely appreciate your continued support up to this point. After seeing these events, I believe we can all agree that Jamaica is among the best countries in the world for sprinting. They consistently manage to take the lead. The men's 100-meter and men's 400-meters were unquestionably the most exhilarating and magnificent events we had ever witnessed. These two races demonstrate that Jamaica's sprinting prowess extends beyond the women's division. Males also exhibit the same superior performance and dominance. Congratulations to this Caribbean powerhouse. We love watching you dominate track and field on a regular basis and are proud of you. It's amazing that such a tiny country can have such significant outcomes on the international scene. They were unbeatable in the men's 100-meter, and they performed just as well in the 400-meters. Seville and Thompson competed in the 100 meters. Thompson won first place while Seville finished second. Both Jamaican runners were praised for their unadulterated speed, stamina, and explosive acceleration. This race demonstrated that Jamaica is still producing a new generation of sprinting legends, athletes whose pace gives them a decisive advantage in the 400 and 100 meters each time they take the track. Kashane Thompson and Oblique Seville, two of Jamaica's quickest sprinters, competed in this particular race, which made it electrifying. Both runners rushed out of the blocks with amazing acceleration when the gun went off. Thompson crossed first, but the difference between them was so little that it was only a split second. Through sheer strength and speed, Thompson steadily gained ground until he crossed the finish line in an incredible 9.88 seconds, solidifying his position as the fastest man alive at the moment. Despite finishing second, Seville's outstanding run demonstrated that Jamaica has multiple athletes capable of contending and winning in the 100 meters on the biggest platforms in the globe. Congratulations to Seville and Thompson. Their accomplishments demonstrate the effort and commitment that went into each step. Moving on to the men's 400 meters, Anthony Cox of Jamaica put on an incredible effort that crushed the field. Because of the distance, the 400 meters involves a totally different approach than the 100 meters. Although the 100 meter is about full acceleration from beginning to end, the 400 meter calls for pace, energy management, and holding back for the last stretch. From the beginning to the end, Cox demonstrated outstanding race management by precisely balancing his pace and energy. In addition to speed, his accomplishment demonstrated perseverance, self-control, and mental toughness. He never seemed to tire, and in the last stretch, he raced ahead while the rest of the field retreated. Athletes must carefully regulate their speed during the entire race in the 400 meter, which is still one of the most physically taxing events in sports. Knowing your starting pace and maintaining it throughout is crucial, as I previously stated. The magic happens in the last stretch, which is also frequently where the race is either won or lost, so you need to make sure you have enough energy for it. Even after Usain Bolt retired, Jamaica has produced a number of elite athletes. Bolt broke a record that had been unbroken for more than 21 years, as everyone knows. Because of this, a lot of people questioned if Jamaica could continue to be a sprinting powerhouse in his absence. Resilience is another crucial lesson we may learn from this. One of the most distinctive characteristics of Jamaican athletes is their resilience. They persevere in the face of adversity, injuries, and the high standards set by their coaches, mentors, and supporters. They continue to be extremely resilient, constantly managing to take control regardless of the situation. They return to the track motivated to compete at the greatest level and elevate Jamaica's profile, even in the face of setbacks or injuries. They are aware that there is genuine duty involved in portraying Jamaica's colors. Despite being a small country with a small population, Jamaica has become a global powerhouse because to its athletes' performances in important tournaments. They have improved the nation's reputation and demonstrated that donning those colors is more than just symbolic. It carries the responsibility of reflecting the best aspects of the entire country. That's all for today, folks. We appreciate you staying tuned and watching the entire thing. Please share your opinions about these two races in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to look into them. That concludes the video for today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until we meet again, bye.